The Chicago Bears add one of the more underrated members of the Tennessee Titans secondary in safety Dane Cruikshank. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears free agency update video. If you guys want more of these, definitely be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll be reacting to every single free agent signing the Bears make. There haven't been too many in the last week. We were about to get Ryan Bates from the Buffalo Bills, offensive lineman, but unfortunately, the Buffalo Bills matched that contract, so we weren't able to land that offensive lineman. But today we have a bit of news. We signed a safety guy from the Tennessee Titans, Dane Cruikshank, and guys, this honestly could be, a pretty solid backup safety option, and maybe even a starting safety option if he does good in camp. Okay, I don't know what the contract details are at this point in time, but it's most likely, again, gonna be a cheap 1 year, maybe 2 year deal max, because again, this is more of a rising young player than a known commodity. Okay, obviously he's not going to command a large contract when he's only started 4 games so far in the NFL, but in those 4 games he flashed a lot of potential. That's pretty much been the basis for all the Ryan Poles signings so far, because he doesn't want to invest huge money in aging players, because that's not where the roster is at this point in time. I know some fans disagree with that. They want to see us go after bigger names, but this is the route he's taking, and hopefully it works out. And talking about this signing, guys, I looked at what Tennessee Titans analysts, fans had to say about him. I looked at what the tape was saying as well. I didn't watch too many games. Obviously, he only started in 4 games, so I watched some of his highlights. And man, he is a physical player. I'll pop a highlight on the screen right now. You can see him blowing up the running back, just going past him, maintaining his balance, and almost getting to the quarterback. He was great on some blitzes last year. Pretty decent in coverage as well. He went up against some of the best tight ends in the NFL last year in some of the games that he played. And going up against George Kittle and Travis Kelce, he held them to a combined 1 reception of only 3 yards. That's some insane play for a backup level safety. The Tennessee Titans ran a lot of, nickel and dime packages in which he was on the field, a good amount, even in the games that he wasn't starting. In some of them he was a big factor, and he played pretty well in coverage for the most part. Okay, 6'1", very athletic, hits hard, obviously, weighs 210 pounds. So, there's a lot to like in his frame, a lot to like in his tape as well. Now, obviously, the sample size, though, is extremely small, because like I mentioned earlier, he's only started in 4 games. So that's a big reason why he's only coming to us on a cheap, probably 1 or 2 year deal, because he's not a known, player yet. But the upside definitely is there. Okay, Titans fans were actually sad to see this guy go. I was seeing the comments on Twitter and Instagram, and Titans fans were hoping to keep him, but he went to the Chicago Bears. Now, I'll read you guys his stats also over the past 4 years. Again, you can't really tell much from the stats for a safety, because safeties don't really show up on the stat sheet that often unless they make like a big interception or something. But 2018, you can see didn't really do much. 2019 also didn't really do much besides play on special teams. He was a major special teams player pretty much every single year since he got drafted. 2020 again, not really doing much, but 2021 he actually started 4 games and he had 43 combined tackles in those games, and also 1 pass deflection, 1 forced fumble as well, on top of playing great defense against some of the better tight ends in the NFL. So overall, guys, I like this signing. Okay, high upside player, cheap deal. If it doesn't work out, who cares? We can get rid of him in a couple years. But if he shows great potential in training camp, he might honestly still be competing for the starting role, right? Because right now on the other side of Eddie Jackson, we only have DeAndre Houston-Carson as a potential starter. We haven't signed anybody else at this point in time. So if Dane Cruikshank has a great offseason, a great training camp, performs well in the preseason games too, he might have a chance at starting next to Eddie Jackson. I'm not going to put the expectation on him right now, because right now I think he's going to be a backup safety, but anything is possible, right? But at the very least, special teams guy, great depth option, and having a hard-hitting safety like this that could definitely be utilized well by Matt Eberflus. He wanted these types of players, okay, physical guys that love football, that are fast, that make plays, and the fact that his full potential hasn't been realized yet is a big motivating factor for this guy as well. Okay, he's gonna want to earn the next contract, with us or with a different team, which is why he's gonna be playing his ass off whenever he actually gets the chance to play. That's another big thing about signing these cheaper guys. Okay, they're going to want to play hard and play great football, because they're still fighting for their NFL lives. Okay, they're not guaranteed anything. If you're only on a contract for a couple $1 million for 2 years, that's not that much money, okay, to an NFL player. So, you know, obviously the motivation is going to be higher with these players, and hopefully that turns into great play for the Chicago Bears while we search for long-term options on this team. Let me know what you guys think about this signing down below in the comments, but as always, bear down.